My name's Frank. Frank DeLong, 68 years old, retired mechanic. And I guess this is my confession about the day everything changed. You know, I never thought I'd tell this story, not to anyone, but sitting here tonight looking at this empty house, I figure, what the hell? Maybe saying it out loud will help me understand it myself. She handed me the card like she was handing over a receipt. No eye contact. Just Happy Father's Day, Dad. Inside was a $2 scratch-off ticket. I remember standing there in my kitchen, holding that thing, trying to smile, trying to tell myself it was the thought that counted. Lisa was already on her phone texting someone. Her husband probably. That's when she mentioned, real casual, like she was talking about the weather, that they'd gotten his dad a cruise package. $13,000, first-class flights, balcony suite, the works. That's nice, I said. And I meant it. Bob's a good man, worked hard his whole life. He deserves something special. But 30 minutes later when I saw her Instagram, all those photos of them at the airport, champagne glasses raised, best FL ever written across the screen, something in me just went quiet. Real quiet. Tell me, where are you listening from? I'm sitting here in Missouri, same house I've lived in since '89, same kitchen table my wife picked out when we first moved in. Sometimes I wonder if anyone else knows what it's like to become invisible in your own family. I should probably back up a bit. Give you the whole picture? My wife Carol died when Lisa was 12. Ovarian cancer took her in 14 months. I remember the day the doctor told us. Carol squeezed my hand so hard I thought she'd break it. Not because she was scared for herself. She was scared for Lisa. Promise me you'll take care of her. She said that night. Promise me she'll never feel alone. So I promised. And I kept that promise. Every dance recital, every school play, every broken heart, and bad grade, and teenage meltdown, I was there. I learned to braid hair from YouTube videos, figured out how to talk about woman things without dying of embarrassment, sold my '65 Mustang when she needed braces, picked up night shifts when she lost her scholarship sophomore year, never remarried, never even dated, really. Couple of the guys at work tried to set me up. But, I don't know, it felt like betraying Carol, and Lisa needed stability. She needed to know I wasn't going anywhere. She used to fall asleep on my chest watching TV, called me her hero, said she was going to take care of me when I got old. Funny how things change. Father's Day 2023. That's when it happened. Lisa married into money about 8 years ago. Her husband Derek comes from one of those families where everyone has a boat and a second home. His dad Bob owned a chain of hardware stores. Good people, I guess, but different. They vacation in Europe, they talk about wine like it matters. They got one of those refrigerators that tells you when you're out of milk. I'm the guy who still changes his own oil. At first I was happy for her. She'd found her place. You know, found a life that made her feel important, I guess. But somewhere along the way, I became the embarrassing dad. The one who didn't know which fork to use. The one who wore the wrong shoes to the country club. She'd correct me in front of people. Dad doesn't really understand how these things work. Or Dad's a little old school. Always with that smile. That apologetic smile. Like she was explaining why her dog peed on the carpet. But that Father's Day morning, that was different. She showed up around 10. Derek stayed in the car. Engine running, she said. We're heading to his parents after this. After this? Like I was a checkbox. The card was one of those generic ones from the gas station. The kind you grab when you remember at the last second. World's Best Dad in Comic Sans font. And inside, that lottery ticket. Still had the sticky stuff from where she'd pressed it down. Hope you win big, she said, already looking at her phone again. Then she told me about Bob's cruise. Showed me pictures on her phone. The suite, the itinerary, the spa package she'd added just because he deserves to relax. Must have cost a fortune, I said. Money's not everything, Dad. That's what she said. To me, the man who once ate peanut butter sandwiches for 3 months so she could have new school clothes. Money's not everything. I scratched the ticket that night. Not because I thought I'd win. Hell, I never win anything. But because it was Father's Day, and I was alone and scratching a lottery ticket seemed like something to do besides staring at the TV. First number matched. That's $5. I thought, second number matched. Third, fourth. All of them matched. I sat there at my kitchen table, under that old ceiling fan that still clicks when it spins, staring at this little piece of cardboard that said I'd just won $120 million. My hands were shaking, not from excitement, from, I don't know, fear, maybe? Disbelief? I checked it 12 times. Went online. Verified the numbers, called the automated line. Everything checked out. $120 million from a $2 ticket my daughter gave me because she couldn't be bothered to think of anything else. I didn't tell anyone for 3 weeks. Just sat on it. Went to work. Yeah, I still picked up part-time shifts at my buddy's garage, kept my hands busy, came home, watched the news, acted like nothing had changed. But everything had changed. Because now I had to decide what to do with it. And more importantly, who to tell. The smart thing would have been to call a lawyer first. Get everything set up proper. But part of me wanted to call Lisa, wanted to hear her voice change when I told her, wanted her to be excited for me, for us. God, I was still that stupid. I finally told her on a Tuesday. Called her around dinner time. Hey, Dad, can I call you back? We're just sitting down to eat. It's important. A sigh. Okay, what's up? Remember that lottery ticket you gave me? What lottery ticket? The one for Father's Day. Oh, yeah. What about it? I won. Silence. Then won what? The jackpot. 120 million. The silence stretched out so long I thought the call had dropped. Then, real quiet, she said, which ticket exactly? Not, oh my God, Dad. Not, that's incredible. Not even. Are you serious? Just, which ticket? The one you gave me. The scratch-off. The $2 one? Yeah. Another pause. Then her voice changed. Got bright. Fake bright. Dad, that's amazing. Oh my God. I can't believe it. Have you claimed it yet? Not yet. Good. I mean, you need to be careful. You need to get a lawyer, a financial advisor. Don't tell anyone else, okay? People will come out of the woodwork. We should meet. Can you come over tomorrow? We need to talk about this. Make a plan. Suddenly it was we. I drove over to their house the next day. It's one of those big places in a gated community, the kind with pillars out front and a fountain in the yard. Derek met me at the door, big smile, bigger than usual. Frank, man of the hour, come in, come in. They had coffee ready, the good stuff, and pastries from some French place downtown. Lisa hugged me, actually hugged me. First time in probably 2 years. Dad, I'm so happy for you, she said. This is life-changing. They had a whole presentation ready. Derek had printed out articles about lottery winners, statistics about how most of them go broke, horror stories about families torn apart. You need to be smart about this, Frank, Derek said. This kind of money, it can destroy people if they're not careful. Lisa nodded. We want to help you, Dad. Make sure you're protected. They talked about trusts, investments, annuities. Derek knew a guy who knew a guy. They could set everything up, make sure I was taken care of. The thing is, Lisa said, stirring her coffee, you probably shouldn't live alone anymore. Not with this kind of money. It's not safe. We've been talking, and we think you should move in here. We have the guest house. You'd have your privacy, but we'd be close for security. Security. That's what she called it. I went home and thought about it for 3 days. They called every few hours, just checking in, making sure I was okay, making sure I hadn't done anything rash with the money. On the third night, Lisa called around 11. Late for her. Dad, I can't sleep. I keep thinking, what if something happens to you? What if someone finds out? You're all alone in that house. It's not safe. I've been alone in this house for 15 years. That's different. You didn't have money then. There it was. The truth? Just sitting there between us. Lisa, I said, can I ask you something? Of course. When you bought Bob that cruise, how long did you spend planning it? What? I don't know. A couple months, maybe. Why? Just wondering. Silence. Then, Dad, it's not the same thing. I know. I mean, I didn't know you were going to win the lottery. I know. The ticket was it was meant to be fun. A little surprise. I know. More silence. Then defensive. I don't understand why you're being like this. Like what? Cold. Distant. We're trying to help you. I know that too. She hung up? First time she'd ever hung up on me. The next morning, Derek showed up alone. Sat in my kitchen looking uncomfortable in his $1,000 suit. Frank, I'm gonna be straight with you. Lisa's hurt. She feels like you don't trust her. Ew. She's your daughter. Your only family. She just wants to make sure you're okay. She seemed pretty okay with me being alone before I won that money. Derek's face got red. That's not fair, isn't it? Look, I know Lisa can be distracted, but she loves you in her way. In her way. Even her husband knew. Derek, let me ask you something. In the 8 years you've been married, how many times has Lisa visited me? Just to visit, not because she needed something, not for a holiday where she had to, just to see me. He didn't answer. I'll tell you, 3 times. 3 times in 8 years. And one of those was because her car broke down nearby. Frank, but Bob? Your dad? She sees him. What, couple times a month? Calls him just to chat? Brings him soup when he's sick? That's different. How? It just is. And there it was again. The truth nobody wanted to say. Bob had money. Bob had connections. Bob had a boat and a house in Florida, and stories about meeting important people. I had grease under my fingernails, and a mortgage that wouldn't quit. That's when I learned something that changed everything. Derek let it slip? Didn't mean to, but when you're nervous, things come out. Look, he said. Lisa knew the ticket was a winner before you did. She checked it online. As a joke, she was going to surprise you, but then the amount, it was so much, she got scared. Didn't know how to tell you. I stared at him. She knew? His face went white. I shouldn't have, forget. I said that. She knew I won, and she didn't tell me. She was going to, when, he didn't answer. She was waiting to see what I'd do with it. Wasn't she? If I'd thrown it away, she would have grabbed it. If I claimed it, well then suddenly she cares about my safety. Derek stood up. I should go, yeah, you should. After Derek left, I did what I should have done from the start. Called a lawyer, a good one, from Kansas City. Not someone local who might talk. Set up a trust. A real trust, ironclad, with specific instructions. The grandkids, Lisa has 2 boys, 7 and 9, they'd get money for college, for weddings, for first homes, but not until they were 25, and not through their parents. Lisa, she'd get $1,000 a month, enough to know I didn't forget her. Not enough to quit her job. The rest? Charities, scholarships for kids who lost parents, the cancer ward where Carol died. Places that mattered. The lawyer asked if I was sure. Dead sure. Lisa found out about the trust 2 weeks later. Her lawyer, because of course she got a lawyer, called her with the details. She showed up at my door that night. No knock. Used her key. The one I'd given her for emergencies. What the hell is this? She had papers in her hand. The trust documents. It's what I decided. $1,000 a month? Are you insane? You have $120 million. 73 after taxes. I don't give a damn about the taxes. I'm your daughter. I know who you are. She started crying, but not real tears. The kind she used to do when she was 16 and wanted something. I can't believe you're doing this to me. I'm not doing anything to you. I'm giving you $1,000 a month for the rest of your life. That's nothing. It's more than nothing. It's more than you gave me. That stopped her cold. What's that supposed to mean? It means I spent 30 years giving you everything I had. Time, money, love, everything. And you gave me a $2 scratch-off. Not because you thought I'd win, because you couldn't be bothered to think of anything else. That's not... You spent months planning Bob's cruise. You called 3 travel agents. Lisa, I know how you are when you care about something. When something matters to you, and I know how you are when it doesn't. She stood there in my kitchen, under that clicking ceiling fan, and for the first time in years, I saw her really look at me, not through me, at me. You're punishing me, she said. No, I'm protecting myself. From your own daughter? From someone who only sees me when I have something she wants. She tried everything over the next few months. Guilt, anger, even sweetness. That was the hardest to watch. She'd show up with homemade cookies, like when she was little, call me daddy, a word she hadn't used in 20 years. Remember when we used to watch baseball together? She'd say. Remember when you taught me to ride a bike? I remembered. That was the problem. I remembered all of it. I remembered the little girl who used to leave me crayon drawings on my pillow, who told her kindergarten class I was the strongest man in the world, who cried when I had to work late because she missed me. I don't know when I lost her. Maybe when she went to college? Maybe when she met Derek? Maybe it was gradual, like erosion? One day you look up and the whole shoreline's different. But I knew I'd lost her long before that lottery ticket. The ticket just made it impossible to pretend otherwise. Derek tried to mediate. Bob, God bless him, even called once. Frank, I don't know what's going on between you and Lisa, but she's tearing herself apart. Can't you guys work this out? Bob, you're a good man, but this is between me and her. She loves you. She loves the idea of me having money. That's not fair. Okay, tell me this in the last year before I won that lottery. How many times did Lisa mention me to you? Good or bad? just mentioned me. Silence. That's what I thought. The worst part was Thanksgiving. Lisa called the week before. Are you coming? I don't think that's a good idea. Dad, it's Thanksgiving. I know what day it is. The boys want to see you. The boys. My grandsons. That was the hardest part. They didn't understand why Grandpa didn't come around anymore. Lisa had told them I was going through something. I'll see them next week, I said. Take them to a movie. Without me? Yeah. I don't think that's appropriate. Then I guess I won't see them. She made a sound like I'd slapped her. You're choosing money over your family. No, Lisa. I'm choosing peace over pretend. Christmas was the same. New Year's, Easter, every holiday that first year, the same dance. She'd invite me. I'd decline. She'd guilt. I'd hold firm. The family started taking sides. Some cousins thought I was being cruel. Others understood. Carol's sister called me one night. She would have wanted you to forgive. Carol would have wanted a lot of things. She would have wanted Lisa to visit her grave once in a while, too. That shut down that conversation. Here's what nobody tells you about cutting off your kid. It doesn't feel like victory. It feels like death. Like a piece of you got amputated, and you're still feeling the phantom pain. I'd see something funny on TV and think, Lisa would laugh at that. Then remember we don't talk anymore. I'd walk past the toy store and see something the boys would love, buy it, then leave it in my car because I can't give it to them. I kept her number in my phone, never called, but kept it like keeping a picture of someone who died. One night, about 6 months after everything went down, I got drunk. First time since Carol's funeral, sat in my garage, looking at all the tools I'd collected over the years, and drunk dialed Lisa. She answered on the first ring. Dad, I used to change your diapers. Dad, are you drunk? You had this birthmark on your butt, shaped like a butterfly. Your mom said it meant you were going to fly away someday. Dad, I taught you to drive in the Safeway parking lot. You hit a cart return. Cried for an hour. Why are you calling? I don't know. Silence. Then do you want to come over? No. Then why? I just wanted to hear your voice. Make sure you still sound like my daughter. I am your daughter. No, you're someone who looks like her. I hung up, didn't drink again after that. Year 2 was easier. The money was working, doing good in the world. The cancer ward had a new wing. 100 kids got scholarships. I bought the garage where I used to work and gave it to the guys who still worked there. I traveled some. Nothing fancy. Drove Route 66. Saw the Grand Canyon. Things Carol and I always said we'd do. Everywhere I went, I thought about calling Lisa. Hey, you'll never guess where I am, but I never did. She stopped calling after the first year. Stopped texting. The last message I got was on my birthday. Hope you're happy. I wasn't, but I was something else. I was done pretending everything was okay. Done being grateful for scraps of attention. Done being the dad who was only visible when needed. I saw her at the grocery store last month. 3 years since Father's Day. She was with the boys. They've gotten so tall. She saw me first. Froze. Like seeing a ghost. The younger one, Ethan, recognized me. Grandpa started to run toward me, but Lisa grabbed his arm, whispered something. He looked confused but stayed put. We stood there, 20 feet apart, in the cereal aisle, a lifetime between us. She looked tired, older. There were lines around her eyes that weren't there before. I nodded. She nodded back. Then she turned and walked away, boys in tow. Ethan looked back at me over his shoulder. Waved. I waved back. People ask me, not directly, but they hint. If I regret it, if I do it different. The answer changes depending on the day. Sometimes I think I should have just given her the money. Let her have it. Money doesn't mean anything when you're my age. Can't take it with you. But then, I remember that morning. Father's Day, the way she handed me that card without looking. The way she said, money isn't everything while showing me pictures of Bob's cruise. And I know I did the right thing. Not the easy thing, not the kind thing, but the right thing. Because Lisa didn't need my money. She needed to see me as a person. And if losing $120 million was the price of her finally seeing me, well, she made her choice. I still have the lottery ticket, keep it in my wallet. Not because I'm sentimental, but as a reminder that sometimes the biggest gifts come in the smallest packages, and sometimes the smallest gestures tell you everything you need to know. Lisa gave me that ticket because she couldn't be bothered to think of anything else. $2 worth of effort, that's what I was worth to her. But that $2 ticket gave me something priceless. Clarity about who I was to her, about what we really were to each other, about the difference between being someone's father and being someone's ATM. Last week, Lisa sent me a letter. First contact in 6 months. handwritten, no return address. But I know her writing. It said, "Dad, Derek and I are getting divorced. He cheated. I'm moving back home with the boys. Starting over. I know you hate me. I know I ruined everything. I know I was awful to you. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I just wanted you to know that I see it now. All of it. What you gave up, what I threw away. What I chose instead. Bob doesn't call anymore, neither does anyone else from that life. Funny how that works. The boys ask about you all the time. I don't know what to tell them. I drive past your house sometimes. See your truck in the driveway. Think about knocking. Never do. Mom would be so disappointed in me. I'm disappointed in me too. Love, if I'm still allowed to say that. Lisa, I've read that letter 50 times. Still don't know what to do with it. Part of me wants to call her. Drive over, hug my grandsons, try again. Part of me knows better. Knows that need. Makes people say things they don't mean. Do things that don't last. Is she sorry because she sees it now? Or sorry because she needs something now? I don't know. Maybe I'll never know. So here I sit. 68 years old. 70 million in the bank. Empty house. Silent phone. I won. That's what everyone would say. Won the lottery. Won the lottery. Won the argument. Won my freedom. But winning doesn't feel like winning when you're eating dinner alone. When you're buying Christmas presents for grandkids you can't see. When you're sitting on your porch wondering if you did the right thing or just the stubborn thing. The money's nice. It's helped a lot of people. Done a lot of good. But I'd trade every penny to go back to when Lisa was 5. When she still looked at me like I hung the moon. When love wasn't complicated by who had what and who deserved more. Before she learned that some fathers were worth more than others. Before I learned that some love comes with a price tag. People think this story is about greed. About a daughter who wanted her father's money. But it's not. It's about what happens when you realize you've been loving someone harder than they've been loving you back. When you finally see that you're not a person to them. You're a resource. A backup plan. A safety net. It's about the moment you stop being grateful for crumbs and demand the whole meal. Even if it means eating alone. It's about Father's Day. And lottery tickets. And cruise ships. And all the ways we tell each other what we're worth without saying a word. I think about Carol a lot these days. Wonder what she'd say about all this. She'd probably tell me to forgive, to try again, to remember that Lisa's still our baby girl. But Carol never had to watch Lisa hand her a $2 scratch-off while planning someone else's dream vacation. Carol never had to become invisible in her own daughter's life. Carol got to die, believing Lisa would take care of me when I got old. Got to keep that beautiful lie. Sometimes I envy her for that. Tomorrow's Father's Day again. 4 years since the ticket. Lisa won't call, won't visit, won't send a card. But I guarantee she's thinking about it. About me, about that ticket, about everything that happened after. I'm thinking about it too. About what I gained, what I lost, what I chose. About the price of dignity and the cost of peace. About whether a man can be right and wrong at the same time. I keep waiting for it to feel better. For that moment when I know, absolutely know, I did the right thing. It hasn't come yet. Maybe it never will. Maybe that's the real price of that lottery ticket, not the money, not the family, but the certainty that you're a good father, that you did your best, that love is supposed to be enough. I used to be certain about all of that. Now I'm just tired. Tired of wondering. Tired of second-guessing. Tired of sitting in this empty house, rich and alone, right and miserable. But I'm also done. Done begging for scraps of affection. Done pretending it doesn't hurt. Done being the only one who remembers what we used to be. That ticket, that stupid $2 ticket, it didn't just make me rich, it set me free. Free from pretending, free from hoping, free from the exhausting work of loving someone who only loves you back when it's convenient. Is that winning? I don't know. But it's something. It's mine. And for the first time in my life, that's enough. Even if it has to be. You know what the funny thing is? I still buy lottery tickets. Not because I need the money. God knows I don't need the money. I buy them because every time I scratch one off, I think about Lisa, about Father's Day, about how a $2 gift changed everything. I wonder if she ever thinks about it when she sees them at the gas station. If she ever wonders what would have happened if she'd bought me something else. A tie, a coffee mug, another stupid world's best dad anything. Would I have ever seen the truth? Would we still be pretending? I'll never know. And maybe that's the real tragedy here. Not what happened, but what might have been if that ticket had just been a ticket. If a daughter's love had been worth more than $2. If a father's love had been enough to matter. Happy Father's Day, Lisa. Wherever you are. Whatever you're doing. I hope you found what you were looking for. I hope it was worth it. If you like this story, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions of this story in the comments. To listen to the next story, click on the box on the left. Thank you for watching.